Welcome back, my fellow watchers of the multiverse, to Avengers 2000 week. We are continuing the early Marvel heroes, where all of the early Marvel heroes band together to stop multiple threats, and we have Avengers 2006 Godfall. Now, a lot of you are probably wondering what is happening in the thumbnail. There is more questions than there is answers, as Doctor Doom was vanquished previously in the first Avengers 2000 episode. That was about 4 years ago, but Doctor Doom seems like he is making his return to the Avengers 2000 series, and as we continue this insane, crazy saga, I am so happy that the saga is going to be officially wrapping up soon. So again, I do want to say thank you guys so very much, my fellow watchers of the multiverse, for supporting the Avengers 2000 series over the last few years and being very patient with me. But it's super nice to be able to finally wrap this up, and I do want to say, before we dive in, if you guys do want to support the YouTube channel and you guys would like to see more videos, do make sure to check out the Fourth Wall website. We have the early Mighty Heroes available right now, so you can get the Avengers 2000 merchandise. It is available for 1 week only, and once it's gone, it will be gone for good. So do make sure to check out the Fourth Wall website. But that being said, my fellow watchers of the multiverse, let's dive into Avengers 2006 Godfall. Silence. Cold. Eternal. The camera opens in the dead void of the negative zone, a realm outside time, where light feels like memory and gravity bleeds sideways. A drifting carcass of steel floats through ion storms, the shattered hull of the Baxter outpost. What remained of Earth's brightest minds, Reed Richards, Sue Storm, Johnny, Ben, was sealed inside, exiled to a plane where time moved like molasses and nightmares aged into gods. But something woke up, a hum, a pulse, metal warping in on itself, a cold vibration through the lattice of the zone's atmosphere. Victor Von Doom rises from beneath the ash, no longer in armor, no longer needing it. His robe is blackened, his hands scorched and clawed, his eyes glowing green, rippling with unreleased entropy. Carry the knowledge of centuries lived alone. Time was a crucible, rage was the fire. Now he was something else. They left me to rot in eternity. I learned how to bend eternity in return. A broken monitor nearby flickers on. Reed's final log plays back in a glitchy loop. If you find this, don't engage him. Don't even speak his name. We failed. We failed. Doom crushes the monitor with one hand. Behind him, the bones of the negative zone. The bleeding skeleton of dimensions never meant to exist. He walks toward an altar made of multiversal decay, and as he raises his hand, the fabric of reality tears open, ripping a hole back to Earth. He returns. Across the globe, seismic waves confuse satellite systems. Telepathic networks from the remaining X-Men pick up nothingness, like a hole in the mind. The Avengers are scattered, still reeling from Spider-Man's sacrifice, still healing. But peace feels false, empty. At the rebuilt Triskelion, Nick Fury watches classified footage in a cold room. There's no talking, just still frames. Doom detected Greenland, 0500 HRS. Status, contact lost. Assets deployed. Fantastic Four. His hand trembles slightly. The Fantastic Four arrive at a location where the multiverse once bled, a quantum scar sealed. During Avengers 2001, Reed scans with unease. That energy, it's Doom, but wrong, more primal. Sue activates a defense barrier. Johnny ignites, Ben cracks his knuckles. Too late. He descends from the sky like a storm of iron. Victor Von Doom floats on the wind, not with grace, but judgment. He doesn't monologue, he executes. In a single motion, he releases a gravity pulse that rips Johnny into supernovae, burning him from the inside out. His final scream lights the sky. Ben charges, roars, lands a punch. Doom whispers something inaudible. Ben crumbles. His rocky skin peels away, like brittle bark, revealing soft, broken human beneath. Sue erects a force field. Doom pierces it with a finger and speaks her true name, one he crafted in the zone. She implodes in her own barrier. Gone. Reed survives longest. He tries to reason, bargain. He stretches into the wind, wrapping around Doom, but Doom doesn't fight back. He just absorbs him. Reed's last words, "Victor, please. The world needs a god," Doom replies, "not you." Across the Earth, broadcast systems freeze. A single image appears. Victor Von Doom, hood raised, surrounded by smoke. "I have returned, and I will not be denied again. You crowned false kings. I will show you a world without weakness, without cost, without freedom. I have no interest in conquest, only correction." Earth begins again. Nick Fury throws down his earpiece. "Call them, all of them, now." Blade slicing through vampire cartels in Prague, halting at the word Doom. Daredevil bleeding in a Hell's Kitchen alley, whispering a prayer as police scanners scream. Ghost Rider, his chain dragging behind him as the sky bleeds green fire. Hulk in a cave, no longer gray, breathing deeply, his eyes open wide and green again. Wolverine deep in Canada, dragging his claws through snow, already heading south. Iron Man, Thor, and Captain America meet Doom in Central Park. He's waiting, calm, serene. Behind him, the sky cracks. They don't wait. Tony unleashes a full unibeam. Thor hurls Mjolnir through a portal. Cap throws his shield with such force, it shatters sound. Doom stops all three. With a gesture, he rips Thor's soul from his body, turning the god into dust. Mjolnir falls lifeless to the ground. Cap rushes, striking with every ounce of rage and righteousness. Doom looks him in the eye. "You were never more than a symbol." He burns Steve from the inside, every bone glowing white until all that's left is the shield. Tony, last to fall, triggers every arc reactor in his suit. "You won't get Earth for free." Doom absorbs the explosion, reaches into Tony's chest and crushes the arc core. "I didn't pay." The news hits like an extinction-level meteor. The Fantastic Four, Captain America, Iron Man, Thor, all gone, executed. By one man, no, one force, who called himself Doom. People don't riot, not yet. First, the world just stops. Skyscrapers keep standing, but cities feel like they've fallen. Televisions flicker images of Doom hovering above the ruins in Central Park. Arms outstretched like a saint, blood on his hands, ash in his breath. In Wakanda, the council falls into chaos. With T'Challa long gone and Storm in exile, no leadership remains. In Latveria, Doom's homeland, a temple is raised overnight. Civilians gather and bow, whispering his name like prayer. And in New York, where it all began, people place flowers beneath shattered statues of the Avengers. But they know prayers won't bring gods back this time. Inside a dark, secure compound, buried under what used to be S.H.I.E.L.D. HQ, Nick Fury breathes slowly. His hands shake not from fear, but rage. On the monitor, encrypted lines crackle. One by one, faces appear. Doctor Strange, bruised, dark circles under his eyes. Daredevil in silhouette, blood still on his cowl. Blade, leaning back with silver stakes in hand. Wolverine, smoking a cigar with quiet dread. Ghost Rider, his eyes burning silently. Hulk, silent. Green, again, looming in the corner. Fury leans in. "I'm not gonna sugarcoat this. We just watched gods fall. Doom's not looking to conquer this time. He's here to cleanse, rewrite everything. He wants obedience, he'll offer safety, but the price is everything that made us human. Blade chimes in. So what's the plan, Fury? I throw stakes at a god? Fury just smirks. No, we dig deep, dirtier than we've ever gone. He pulls up a holographic map. We're not the Avengers anymore, we're the Reapers. The first outpost to fall under Doom's new law is a former sword installation in Kazakhstan. It houses what remains of alien and temporal tech the Avengers once locked away. Doom's forces, a blend of negative zone horrors and reconstructed Doombots, descend like black locusts. The Reapers arrive too late. Bodies, fire, symbols carved into the walls. Doom's seal. Wolverine glares through smoke. He's not just killing heroes anymore. He's erasing the idea of resistance. Ghost Rider silently drops to his knees and slams his fist into the ground. Hellfire explodes upward. Later that night, in the Sanctum ruins, Strange performs a dangerous ritual. He peers beyond the veil, a place between life and non-life. Reality is softening, he whispers. Doom's changed. He's not bound to this dimension alone anymore. A whisper echoes. He's breaking the axis. Wong's astral image flickers. He's not just Doom. He's the god Doom he became in the future multiverse. But this time, earlier, more prepared. He's rewriting fate, one soul at a time. Strange collapses, blood from his eyes. We need more than magic. We need a ghost, a memory. The camera pans to Spider-Man's shattered mask. Tucked away in the corner. In Hell's Kitchen, protests turn into chaos. People burn Avengers logos. Some worship Doom, others just run. Daredevil and Blade take to the rooftops. Blade tosses a communicator. Signal Ghost Rider, it's time. They dive into a violent skirmish, rescuing refugees from one of Doom's conversion centers. Doom's voice echoes through loudspeakers. Shed your weakness. Let my new world begin in you. Matt knocks the speaker out with a baton. Blade sighs. He's turning Earth into a damn cult. Matt nods grimly. And we're the last heretics. Far beneath the Rocky Mountains, Hulk is alone. He sits in silence, until a memory shatters him. Footage of Steve Rogers dying, Tony falling, thunder crackling one last time. Banner closes his eyes. I tried peace. His skin cracks green, bones snap, muscles roar. Now I bring war, he roars, shaking the earth for miles. A bear flees the mountain, a tree splits in two. The Hulk has returned. Inside Doom's temple, built atop what was once Latveria's capital, followers chant ancient names. Doom floats above them, eyes closed, as he absorbs the ambient belief. A Doombot kneels. There is resistance. Doom opens his eyes. Then they must burn brighter. So I may consume their light. He smiles. The Reapers gather in a war room. Each has lost someone. Each knows the cost. Fury places his hand on a digital map. Tomorrow we hit back. We go dark. We don't wait for the world to fight with us. Because there won't be a world left. Outside, the sky flickers. A great eclipse begins. A black sun rising over Earth. It's not nature, it's Doom. Ashes, Fury mutters. We're standing in ashes. If we die tonight, let it be our terms. Midnight. The ruined peaks of Eastern Europe tremble beneath clouds of sulfur and silver ash. A once forgotten Latverian stronghold, Fortress Fatalis, now buzzes with life, repurposed into a Doombot manufacturing cathedral. Giant gears churn with eerie rhythm. Blueprints of Earth's defense networks, siphoned from S.H.I.E.L.D's deepest servers, are projected across skybound towers. The Reapers strike at dawn. Daredevil and Wolverine infiltrate first, silent, brutal, blades and batons carving paths through cloaked sentinels. Blade and Ghost Rider arrive next, smashing through mechanical gates with hellfire and steel. And then, Hulk lands. The ground splinters. Towers groan. "No more machines," he bellows. Doombots pour from every chamber, some mimicking fallen Avengers, others forged from alien alloys. Doctor Strange hovers overhead, weaving protective sigils. Explosions ripple across the fortress. Metal limbs fly. Silver dust chokes the air. For the first time since the massacre, the world sees a sliver of hope. They destroy the main production core, but not without cost. Wolverine is badly wounded, adamantium scorched by plasma. Daredevil collapses from internal bleeding. Blade is impaled briefly, only surviving by sheer rage. Strange burns out half his energy, shielding Ghost Rider from a quantum detonation. They win, but only in ruins. Inside the command chamber, Fury slams his fist onto a map projection. That was just one facility. He turns to the Reapers, blood-streaked and breathing heavy. "You want to know how many more there are? 50, all over the world." Tensions boil. Blade wants to strike again immediately. Wolverine warns that they're becoming martyrs. Ghost Rider sits in silence, burning, grieving. And Doctor Strange confronts Fury in private. "We're losing them, piece by piece." Fury pours whiskey into a cracked glass. "Then we don't lose them. We give them a reason to stay." In the astral plane, Strange seeks answers. He journeys beyond the edge of time, to the place Doom now calls the anchor of godhood. He sees it, a spiraling obsidian temple floating above the Earth's magnetic core, feeding off ley lines, off memory, off belief. Built with metaphysical scaffolding and negative zone matter, it pulses with the heartbeat of the planet. "He's not just reshaping reality," Strange whispers. "He's anchoring it, locking Earth as his divine domain." He returns, shaken. "We have days, at most. Across every screen, phones, TVs, projection boards, a broadcast hijacks the world. It's doom." He stands in white robes atop the final temple. The moon eclipses behind him. The gods you once worshipped, Thor, Rogers, Stark, they bled for a broken world. "Now you shall kneel, and I shall never bleed." Suddenly, a group of resistance members, civilians caught trying to escape a conversion facility, are paraded before the camera. One of them wears a Spider-Man hoodie. Doom raises his hand, a flash of green light. They're vaporized. Resist and vanish. The world begins to bend. Doom's voice echoes from metallic obelisks emerging in every city. Some kneel willingly, others form cells, but they are crushed. Conversion centers become sacred cathedrals. Children are taught to speak Doom's name first when they wake. And somewhere in the shadows, Nick Fury, bleeding from a shoulder wound, wraps a bandage around his arm. "You want to be God, Doom?" he snarls. "Then I'll be the devil that takes you down." The Reapers convene again, broken, scarred, silent. "We're not enough," Blade mutters. "We never were," Daredevil responds. Strange opens a data map of Arcane markers, but there may be someone else. He nods toward the stars, toward where Spider-Man once stood, toward the place Owen Reese, Molecule Man, vanished. The Reapers look up. Ghost Rider's eyes flicker like dying suns. Then we bring back the impossible. The final temple floats above the equator, suspended between tectonic scars and cosmic ley lines. Beneath it, tectonic storms rage, and ancient magic tears through the fabric of reality. Doctor Strange gazes upward, unblinking. Once he binds to the core, he'll be unkillable. This is our only chance. His hands tremble. His cloak is frayed. His eyes shimmer with unstable magic. Something is wrong with him. The Reapers prepare for war. Blade sharpens his silver-edged arsenal. Wolverine wraps his fists in chains from the Fortress Fatalis ruins. Daredevil tightens his red gloves. Ghost Rider remains silent, his fire dimming as if conserving itself. Hulk stands alone, hunched, green now returning in patches, replacing the gray, a visual sign of building rage. No gods, he growls, just smash. In the ruined subways of Paris, Nick Fury addresses a gathering of survivors, former SHIELD agents, civilians, and even ex-Hydra defectors. Fury wears a tattered trench coat over blast armor. His eye patch is gone, his blind eye seared with a glyph from the negative zone. Doom thinks we're scattered, that we'll kneel. He forgot. We don't kneel. Fury coordinates multiple sabotage strikes, a biomagnetic pulse against Doom's southern relay towers in Argentina, a data leak about Doom's experiments on civilian memory suppression, a coordinated blackout of 4 major cities. Across the world, resistance erupts. People light the sky with fire. Doctor Strange opens a void rift to study Doom's spellcraft, but he's pulled into a memory loop. Visions of Wong's near death, the sanctum collapsing, Spider-Man's death echoing in endless spirals. Peter, I should have stopped this. He screams into the mirror dimension and shatters it. Strange returns with bleeding hands and scorched robes. We move now, no more visions. We write the ending. Blade exchanges a glance with Daredevil. He's losing it. So are all of us, Matt replies. The final temple has 3 gates: astral, temporal, and physical. The Reapers target the first, the Gate of Flame, guarded by legions of Doom Wraiths, warrior priests made of burning metal and pain. The Reapers storm the gate on floating platforms ripped from Wakandan ruins and Stark tech remnants. The battle is biblical. Wolverine is pierced by a flaming pike, but keeps charging. Daredevil guides blind refugees away mid-fight, dodging flame with superhuman grace. Ghost Rider unleashes a pentagram shockwave, melting dozens of Doom Wraiths. Blade rips out a Doom Wraith's spine and uses it to block fire blasts. Strange levitates above the chaos, weaving time-slowing sigils and incinerating rows of enemies. But with each spell, his nose bleeds, his hands twitch, reality around him flickers. We're almost there, he mutters. The Reapers breach the gate. Inside is the Chamber of Red Glass, a cathedral of memory. Within, illusions attack them, visions of lost loves, fallen teammates. Ghost Rider sees the boy he couldn't save. Blade sees his mother begging him to stop. Hulk sees Betty Ross dying again. Strange sees Peter Parker. Reaching out with burned hands, they fight their memories and push through. Strange carves a portal with blood on his fingertips. Next gate, before it's too late. The temple shifts. From above, Doom descends as a silhouette of burning green light. His voice booms across continents. You breach my house with broken blades and dare defy a god? The sky rips open. Lightning forks in reverse. Very well. If this world must burn to be mine, then it shall burn bright. As the Reapers regroup, Wolverine collapses. Ghost Rider's flame sputters. Hulk roars into the clouds, shaking the temple's walls. Strange falls to his knees, whispering incoherently. Blade looks over the ruin and the wounded. We're going to die in here, aren't we? Maybe, Daredevil says, but so will he. The sky above the final temple flickers like dying film reels. The Reapers step through a blood-carved portal left by Doctor Strange, entering the Temple of Memory. A vast cathedral of psychic decay, lined with broken statues of every hero Doom has ever slain. They walk across cracked marble floors that reflect not their faces, but their fears. Suddenly, the past walks beside them. Logan sees Jean Grey calling for help. Before melting into ash, Daredevil hears Elektra's final scream over and over. Blade sees himself as a child, crying over his mother's corpse, his fangs just beginning to form. Ghost Rider hears the laughter of the devil that cursed him. Mephisto just out of reach. Hulk, now fully green and almost feral again, punches walls until his fists break. Strange sees Spider-Man, alive, bloody, begging. Strange screams, "Enough!" The hallucinations vanish, but a toll has been paid. Everyone is weaker now, not in body, but in will. In the center of the Temple of Memory stands an altar, made of shattered cosmic relics. The Eye of Agamotto cracked. A broken Stormbreaker, Iron Man's chest reactor shattered and flickering. Hovering above them is a holographic shadow, a projection of doom constructed from psionic energy. But it speaks with his voice. You think my rage was vengeance? No, it was evolution. I will rewrite reality, not to rule, but to erase the gods that failed this universe. Doom's goal is now revealed. He has tethered Earth's ley lines, the negative zone's time dilation, and fragments of the Infinity Stones into the final temple. Once fused with the final altar, the altar of origin, he will no longer just bend reality. He will erase the concept of resistance, a world where no hero ever rises, where no rebellion is possible. Doctor Strange tries to counter Doom's mind echo with a multiversal null charm, but his hands won't stop shaking. Ghost Rider grabs him. "Steven, your eyes, they're bleeding." I can still fix it. Strange collapses. "He's falling apart," Logan mutters. "We need to pull him from this mission." "We need his magic more than we need his sanity," Blade replies. They press forward. As they reach the altar of origin, the Reapers are attacked by Doom's final elite guard, the Templars of Fate, clad in black-green armor, made of negative zone crystal and celestial metal. Each Templar is a corrupted version of heroes they once loved. One wields a hammer forged from Mjolnir's shattered core. One wears armor designed by Doom himself to mock Iron Man. One wears a twisted replica of the Sorcerer Supreme's cloak. The battle is horrific. Wolverine is nearly killed before the Hulk saves him by throwing a dead Templar into another. Daredevil is blinded further by magic light, but fights through sound alone, guided by echoes. Ghost Rider burns his own skeleton to overload his hellfire. Blade is impaled but still stabs a Templar through the jaw with silvered brass knuckles. Finally, they fall. But not without cost. Ghost Rider is unconscious, and Wolverine loses an eye. At the altar, Strange reveals there's one final lock to reach Doom, the Gate of Origin, a personal reality built from Doom's deepest trauma. "This is where we stop being warriors," Strange whispers, "and we become myth." He begins the incantation, blood dripping from his lips. Suddenly, he pauses. He sees Peter again. "You told me once," Peter says, "that sacrifice is the end of the story, but it's not. It's the beginning." Strange looks at the others. "I'll get you in," he says, "but I'm not coming back." He smiles for the first time in a long time. "Tell them I tried to be better." He vanishes in light. The gate opens. The sun never rises in Doomworld. It only hangs in permanent eclipse, half cloaked in darkness, half burning crimson, casting long ominous shadows across a landscape bent to the will of one man. What was once Earth is now something else entirely, a fusion of science and sorcery, reshaped in the wake of Doom's conquest. Cities float above oceans made of data, forests of steel pulse with arcane energy. The moon bears his face, and the stars themselves are rearranged into constellations that spell his name. Dr. Doom didn't just win, He rewrote the laws of existence. Inside Castle Doom, a sprawling obsidian fortress carved from the bones of dimensions past, Victor Von Doom stands atop his throne. His armor is no longer mechanical. It is alchemical, cosmic, alive with veins of emerald light. His mask gleams like polished marble. At his side, the corrupted husks of what were once the Fantastic Four kneel, silent and obedient. Reed Richards, now named the Hollow Mind, whispers calculations for Doom's next cosmic experiment. Sue Storm glides like a ghost through walls, her eyes empty. Johnny Blaze burns, but his flame flickers with green, unholy fire. Ben Grimm is no longer a man, but a golem of black stone and pain. I gave them purpose, Doom muses to no one, and they will thank me when they awaken. He walks through a cathedral of memories. Statues of fallen heroes line the walls. Iron Man, Thor, Captain America. Their likenesses have been twisted, their sacrifices rewritten. In this world, Doom is the one who saved reality, and the people believe it. Across the cities of Doomworld, life continues under eternal surveillance. Giant Doom sentinels drift silently in the sky. Any dissent, any unauthorized thought is purged by the enforcers. Doom's elite corrupted champions. Among them, Wolverine, now known only as the Claw, coated in black adamantium and controlled through psychic chains. Ghost Rider, his flame turned green, and his chains used to drag heretics to Doom's prisons. The Punisher, no longer a man, but an automated executioner who patrols the cities with a 1,000-yard stare. But deep beneath the surface, hidden in a hollowed-out shell of what was once Wakanda, the remnants of rebellion breathe. Nick Fury isn't dead. Scarred, graying, and older than time wants to remember, Fury sits at the head of a small table lit by broken Stark tech and magic candles. With him are Blade, half turned into a Doom wraith, but resisting its pull through sheer willpower. Wong, bearing a shattered hand and an enchanted blindfold to shield his mind from Doom's influence. Banner, reverted to his human form and incapable of transforming, for now. They think we're myths, Fury growls. Good, that's how legends are born. He slams down a cracked monitor. On it, a blurry image of Peter Parker captured mid-swing in a remote surveillance glitch. Spider-Man's alive, and that means we've still got a shot. Back in the open streets, Peter continues to observe. He swings through ruins, collects fragments of history, learns of Doom's rewriting. He sees children reciting the Book of Doom in schools. He sees temples where people pray to the man who broke the world. He sees no one who remembers the Avengers, until he hears a name. Spoken quietly, in fear, in code. The Archivist, a cloaked figure who roams the wastelands, collecting truth, storing lost memories of the real world. Peter tracks the name through whispers and ruins, until he finds the archive, buried beneath the ruins of Latveria. Inside he meets a familiar face, older, ragged, but still burning with purpose. Steve Rogers, not Captain America, not anymore, just Steve. You're not supposed to be alive, he says. Neither are you, Peter replies. The two embrace. They share stories. Steve tells him how Doom used the Molecule Man's powers to rewrite the timeline, how only a few survived with partial memory intact. Peter reveals the Enigma Force and what he saw in the void. Together they vow to find the others. They vow to bring the Avengers back. As they leave the archive, Steve pauses. You know he'll be waiting. Peter nods. Good. I'm tired of running. Far above, in Castle Doom, the air crackles. Doom turns to a flickering portal and sees the moment. Two ghosts rising from ash. Let them come, he murmurs. I will burn their memories a second time. More. Not as a weapon, but as a memory of what was good. He opened his eyes. The faded suit reignited. Not pure white this time, but a hybrid. Red, blue, and cosmic fire. His mask now shimmered with the sigil of Captain Universe carved into its center. He webbed into the storm toward the Tower of Doom. Okay, Doom, let's rewrite history, my way. The archive beneath Latveria begins to stir with life. Its ancient halls, once filled with silence and forgotten relics, now echo with hurried steps and whispered plans. For the first time in years, the Resistance has direction, and it begins with two names written into the very soul of heroism: Peter Parker and Steve Rogers. They emerge from the underground under the cloak of night, their movements swift and silent across Doom's broken earth. The stars above are still warped, spelling doom in celestial order. Every inch of this world is a lie, sculpted from Doom's vanity. But beneath the lies, fragments of truth survive. Peter and Steve divide their focus, each seeking someone they once called brother. The winds of the Canadian Rockies are harsh and unforgiving, colder now than ever. Somewhere within them the Claw waits, Doom's enforcer, once known as Logan, the Wolverine. Steve approaches a crumbled X facility, long abandoned and coated in snow and ash. Inside he finds an iron throne forged of rusted Sentinel parts, and sitting on it, shackled, silent, is Logan. His claws are darker now, his skin pallid, his eyes veiled by cybernetic lenses. But something inside him flickers, still alive, still burning. "You're not a machine," Steve says, stepping into the dim light. "You're a man, one of the best I ever knew." Logan doesn't move, until Steve tosses down a worn leather jacket, the one Xavier gave him decades ago, covered in blood, preserved in memory. "Doom wants you to forget. That's why I came to remind you." With a guttural roar, Logan rips free of his bindings. He claws at his own face, tearing at the lenses and collapsing to his knees. When he looks up, he remembers. "Where the hell have you been, Rogers?" Meanwhile, in the echoing alleys of what used to be Hell's Kitchen, now renamed District Silence, Peter searches for Matt Murdock. Word is Doom tried to erase faith from the world, and Matt was one of the last priests of resistance. Peter follows the faint sound of church bells to a broken chapel, its cross bent, its pews shattered. Inside, a red suit rests folded at the altar, untouched by time. "I knew you'd come," a voice echoes. From the rafters descends Daredevil, blindfolded and bruised, but not broken. "They took everything, Pete, even sound, but they couldn't take faith." The two share a moment, old friends, warriors bound by pain. Matt admits that Doom's magic blinded more than just his eyes. It clouded his senses, corrupted his radar. But with Peter's arrival, clarity returns. "You swing, I'll strike." Reunited, the trio travels to an ancient ritual site in Nevada, where reports of an uncontrollable flame still linger. They find a crater, scorched in a perfect spiral, with chains embedded deep into the earth. Ghost Rider is there, but barely. His skull flickers green with Doom's corruption. His voice is hollow. Peter approaches slowly, kneeling beside the rider's chained form. "You remember vengeance? You remember justice? You remember who you are?" For a moment, nothing. Then, with a thunderous crack, the ground splits and the chains shatter. "I remember everything," growls Johnny Blaze, flames burning bright orange once again. He mounts his hell cycle, its wheels spinning with divine fury. "Let's ride." Doom watches these reunions from his throne. He is not surprised. The web untangles itself. He summons the Hollow Mind, Reed Richards, and instructs him to accelerate Project Remake, A new plan. One that will ensure no memory of the Avengers ever remains. But deep within Reed's fractured consciousness, something stirs. A name. A whisper. Sue. The newly reformed resistance meets at Fury's hidden base beneath Wakanda. Steve Rogers dons a cracked shield. Peter tweaks his web shooters, now glowing faintly with residual Enigma force. Daredevil meditates in shadow. Logan sharpens his claws. Ghost Rider revs his bike. Fury nods. 5 of you against the world, Doom will laugh. Peter replies with a quiet smile. Then, let's give him something to choke on. The lights dim. The war for reality begins. At midnight, the skies over Doomguard fracture. The Reapers emerge from the shadows of the Eastern Hemisphere. Their target, one of Doom's central control spires, an obsidian tower known as the Spindle, pulsing with quantum magic and broadcasting mind-altering waves across the globe. It's how Doom keeps reality asleep. Take that tower down, Fury told them, and the people might start to remember who they were. Steve leads the charge with Logan beside him. Ghost Rider and Daredevil ride point, flame and stealth incarnate. Peter swings silently above, scouting the perimeter. It's an ambush, but they're not the ambushed. They strike hard. Logan tears through Doomguards like paper. Ghost Rider unleashes Hellfire, melting the arcane glyphs along the tower walls. Daredevil slips through blind spots and eliminates the spellcasters powering the tower. Peter hacks the main conduit, weaving webs laced with Enigma Force energy. And Steve holds the front line, shield raised, shouting, "For the ones who forgot, and the ones who never could." A shockwave erupts from the tower as it collapses. Waves of memory ripple across the globe. In New York, a little girl drops her Doom doll, suddenly unsure why she ever loved it. In Wakanda, Shuri looks to the stars and remembers her brother. The spell is breaking. Back in Doomstat, the heart of this twisted world, Victor Von Doom rises from his throne in silence. He doesn't shout, he doesn't threaten. Instead, he walks to a mirror, one forged from the last fragment of the true timeline. It shows him a reflection he hates, not of a god, but of a man, afraid. They're gathering, murmurs the hollow mind, Reed, still under Doom's sway, but growing agitated. Then scatter them, Doom replies. He activates the Sunder Protocol, unleashing 3 dark heralds, known as the Unmade Silencer, a woman who can erase existence with a whisper, the type of vampiric psychic who feeds on memory. Krieg, a metal monstrosity, engineered from the bones of fallen Avengers. Doom sends them west. Far beyond time, in a temporal fissure, Doctor Strange is trapped. He's been falling through moments, watching infinite versions of Doom ascend, fail, ascend again. Every Doom is different, but all end the same, alone. Wong, semi-corporeal, guides him. Steven, you must find the variant that cracked, the one Doom fears. It's your only path out. Strange locates it. A Doom who was forgiven. A Doom who lost power, but not dignity. By meditating through that thread, Strange unlocks a forgotten truth. Doom's power is bound to a stolen heart. The soul of Valeria, a child who once softened him. She's the keystone to his madness, and maybe to his defeat. The Unmade descend upon the Reapers in what used to be Prague, now a wasteland of frozen statues, reality slowed to a crawl. Krieg smashes into Logan, pinning him beneath debris. Silencer mutes Peter's webs, rendering them inert. The Tithe drains Steve's memories, forcing him to relive Bucky's death, Peggy's funeral, and the moment he was frozen, on loop. Only Ghost Rider stands firm. "You feed on memory," he growls. "Good. I've got plenty to burn." He ignites himself entirely and takes out the tithe, sacrificing his own clarity in the process. The rider is reduced to a crawling ember, alive but barely. Wounded but not broken, Peter rallies. "Get up," he whispers to Steve. "If we fall here, he wins." Together they fight off the Unmade. Logan finishes Krieg by shoving both claws through its skull. Peter webs Silencer's mouth shut, and Steve knocks her unconscious. The cost is heavy, but they survive, and they steal something, a shard of Doom's control core. Back in Doomstat, Doom clutches his chest. "Why do I feel?" The mirror flickers again. He sees Peter Parker bloodied, barely standing but still smiling. "The spider endures," Reed murmurs. "Not for long," Doom says, stepping into the portal chamber. "If they want a god, I'll give them one." The world is beginning to stir. With the Spindle destroyed and the Unmade repelled, dormant memories flicker back to life, like dying embers reignited. In an underground bunker beneath the ruins of the former Baxter building, Nick Fury steps out of stasis. "Damn kids, always breaking timelines when I'm trying to nap." He opens a crate. Inside, the last known shield, Chrono Key. A device capable of rewinding brief segments of space-time. Dangerous and unstable, but a chance to gain tactical advantage. He patches into an old Reaper signal. Peter's voice, faint but alive. "Reapers, this is your director speaking. You're not done yet." The Reapers, barely recovered from Prague, meet in a shadow-cloaked sanctuary built from remnants of Stark Tower. The place is haunted with memory and meaning. Steve Rogers tapes together the old shield. Logan wraps a shattered claw in iron cable. Daredevil, blind and beaten, still sharpens his senses. Peter, wounds still fresh, inspects the shard of Doom's control core. Then, Doctor Strange appears. He materializes midair, eyes glowing with uncontained knowledge. He's tied his soul to a child's memory, he says. To kill Doom now would risk erasing her from ever having existed. But if we sever the link, we can bring her back and take his power. The plan: they must march on Doomstat, storm the Throne Temporal, and shatter the Sulanker, Valeria's memory crystal, hidden beneath Doom's cathedral. As the Reapers march across continents toward Doomstat, they're joined by survivors. Shuri, battle-scarred and regal, brings a vibranium rail cannon. Johnny Blaze, reborn from ash, rides again with hellfire vengeance. Fury, wielding the Chrono Key, disrupts Ultron tech scouts along the path. The Earth begins to breathe again. Storms lessen. The static in the sky clears. The people of the world start to feel again. In Latveria, resistance cells ignite fires and paint red webs in alleyways, symbols of Peter's sacrifice. The spider lives. Meanwhile, Doom retreats deeper into the temporal nexus, merging himself with what remains of the stolen multiverse code. He appears gaunt, desperate even, as his armor glows with raw Enigma distortion. He begins Project Null Eternity, a final rewrite of time meant to lock his rule forever. If the Reapers reach me, he mutters, they won't find Victor, they'll find God. But somewhere inside, a voice, Valeria's, echoes. You could have been better, Papa. The memory crystal trembles. Peter senses something coming. He begins recording a message on a broken Stark drone. If you're hearing this, it means I'm gone. Or worse, you have to clean up my mess. Tell MJ I wore the suit right till the end. Tell May I remembered. He stores the message inside the Chrono Key for Nick to preserve, just in case the worst happens. The team moves forward. No more delays, says Steve. No more fear, adds Strange. No more gods, whispers Logan. The Reapers approach the gates of Doomstat. The skies above ripple. Time stutters. The final battle looms. The Reapers, Captain America, Doctor Strange, Wolverine, Daredevil, Ghost Rider, and a no-unstable Hulk approach the walls of Doomstat, the towering fortress that pierces the corrupted skies like a rusted sword. The city moans under the weight of rewritten history. Streets twist in and out of existence, constantly shifting. At the gates stands Goliath Hulk, Doom's final guard, now coated in a black adamantium exoskin, his eyes dim with programming. I failed to protect them, Banner's mind echoes deep within. But I'll protect what's left. Strange casts an anti-illusion sigil, revealing the city as it truly is. Blood-streaked, dead-eyed, enslaved to memory. The battle begins. Wolverine and Ghost Rider tear into corrupted Latverian war drones, while Flame and Adamantium cut a path toward the tower. Cap leads the resistance factions through side corridors, uniting rebels under a single banner, the spiderweb symbol. Strange and Daredevil descend below the tower's foundations, seeking the memory crystal of Valeria, the soul anchor tethering Doom to the fabric of this rewritten Earth. Inside, the crystal pulses like a heartbeat, echoing Doom's obsession and fear. Doom arrives. He floats down on an obsidian throne made from fractured timelines, his armor thrumming with multiversal static. The heroes feel gravity shift, their vision blurring. Time ripples. You fight for a world that never thanked you, Doom says. You rise for a boy who defied fate. I am fate. Cap throws the shield. It cracks Doom's mask. Wolverine charges. Doom blasts his flesh into molten steel. Ghost Rider unleashes hellfire. Doom consumes it, grows larger. You cannot kill memory, Doom hisses. You cannot kill God. At the base of the Nexus, Strange and Daredevil reach the memory crystal. As they prepare to shatter it, Valeria's voice echoes. He wanted to be a hero once. Strange pauses, but Daredevil doesn't. He strikes the crystal with his club, his senses ringing with cosmic screams. Light floods the earth. For a moment, just one breath, the world remembers. The original Fantastic Four awaken from their mindless state. Johnny Storm ignites. Sue screams. Ben roars. Reed opens his eyes and says, "Peter!" From the remains of the soul anchor, a ripple tears through the air. Spider-Man returns, not reborn, but preserved, shielded by the Enigma Force through all of Doom's rewriting. His suit glows faintly, his hands shake, his eyes burn. You erased the world I loved, Doom. You turned family into monsters, but I remember who we are. Doom stares, mask fractured, power surging. This isn't your story, Parker. It never was. But I'm the one finishing it. The original Avengers begin to return as reality heals. Cap catches his old shield, now whole. Tony suits up again, this time with the tech from the machine Rain. Thor, half blinded and broken, wields Mjolnir, Thor reforged by lightning itself. Even Fury and Blade arrive with the last of the S.H.I.E.L.D. battalion, buying the heroes time. Peter turns to them. "Buy me 10 minutes, I'll buy you a future." He leaps toward Doom. The final fight begins. The battle erupts above the shattered remnants of Doomstat. The skies bleed color as dimensions peel like onion skins. The Enigma Force pulses around Spider-Man, now fully awakened. Not just a warrior, but a symbol of everything Doom tried to erase. Doom strikes with multiversal thunder, warping physics to erase Peter from existence. Peter dodges, leaping through paradoxes, his voice calm. You think being a god means you're above fear, but gods fear being forgotten. Doom snarls. You know nothing of divinity. No, but I know what it means to matter. The two collide. Doom bends timelines, turning Peter into a child, then an old man, then a memory. Peter counters with empathy, locking Doom's vision into flashes of Valeria, Reed, and the boy he once was. "You could have been a hero," Peter says, striking Doom's armor. "You were." Doom screams in rage and unleashes raw destruction, vaporizing mountains, freezing oceans, corrupting the atmosphere. The Reapers and remaining Avengers hold the collapsing Earth together. Blade, Cap, Thor, and Strange combine forces to evacuate civilians using the Life Raft protocol, a plan hidden in Fury's last shield file. Peter's nearly broken, his mask torn, ribs shattered, cosmic energy flickering. He stumbles, then sees a vision. Uncle Ben, standing in the white void of the Enigma realm. It's not about power, Pete. It's about choice. You know what you have to do. Peter rises one last time. He leaps into the sky, webs Doom, and says, "This world doesn't need a god. It needs people. It needs heroes." He dives with Doom into the heart of the collapsing multiversal core, igniting the Enigma force in a final surge. A massive burst of light envelops everything. Silence. Reality begins to tear. Doctor Strange and Tony deploy the Life Raft, carrying the remaining Avengers. Blade, Hulk, Thor, Wolverine, Daredevil, Cap, and even a barely conscious Reed Richards. As the world ends, they escape. In the void, Peter Parker floats, silent, unconscious, or dead. Doom, finally stripped of his power, crumbles into dust, his last words a whisper. "I only wanted to fix it." The Life Raft emerges through a rift into a new universe. Skies unfamiliar. Stars different. Gravity steady. Thor kneels, feeling the ground. Blade looks up. "This ain't our Earth." A news broadcast crackles from a ruined tower nearby. Tony Stark to address the UN regarding Sokovia Accords. Cap's eyes widen. "We're not just in a new world, we're in their world. The MCU Earth." The Life Raft emerges from the void, its battered hull groaning as it tears through dimensional fabric. Inside, the surviving Avengers from the 2000s universe. Thor, Hulk, Wolverine, Daredevil, Punisher, Blade, Doctor Strange, Captain America, Iron Man, and a weakened Reed Richards, awakened to a sunrise not their own. Outside, they step into a strange yet familiar skyline. New York City, clean, standing, tall. Stark Tower now reads Avengers Tower. "This isn't home," Strange mutters, eyes scanning the ley lines. "But it's stable." Thor kneels, touching the earth. "Something's different. The threads of fate here, they're tight, controlled." In the distance, a digital billboard flashes. Breaking, Tony Stark to address UN regarding Sokovia Accords. Cap freezes. We're in their world. As confusion sets in, Nick Fury appears. Not the one they knew. This one is younger, unfamiliar, but still carrying secrets in his silence. "I don't know who you people are," he says, weapon half drawn. "But that raft just dropped from a dimension Shield's never seen. Start talking." Captain America steps forward. "We're from another Earth, one that no longer exists." Strange conjures a hologram of the collapsing multiverse, the fall of God Doom and their sacrifice. Fury watches, then lowers his gun. Multiverse just got a whole lot messier. The group chooses a name, a symbol to unite under. "We're not the Avengers," Wolverine growls. "Not anymore." "We're what's left," Blade says. "We're the last line." "We're the Ultimates," Cap finishes. Fury nods. "Then you'd better get ready. There's a war coming, and this Earth's heroes are already divided." In the ruins of the collapsed multiverse, deep in the void, a single figure drifts. Peter Parker, his mask torn, his body glowing faintly with remnants of the Enigma Force. Suddenly, a swirl of golden magic begins forming around him. Doctor Strange's spell from No Way Home. The final whisper of that incantation echoes, "Return all those who know Peter Parker." Peter is pulled through a sling ring portal, breathless, and falls onto a rooftop. He gasps, crawling to his knees. Around him, the city lights blaze. He looks up. MCU Earth. He hears a voice. "You okay, kid?" Peter turns. It's Sam Wilson in partial Cap gear. "You're not from around here, are you?" Peter, weak but smiling, responds, "You have no idea." Strange and Fury meet in secret. They're not supposed to be here, Strange warns, but they might be what we need. Reed begins rebuilding a dimensional anchor, trying to trace signs of incursions. Wolverine stares at a cracked X on his belt, muttering, "I'm still here, Jean." Cap watches footage of the Sokovia Accords debates. A screen glitches. In the dark, a presence watches. And that is going to be it for Avengers 2006. Now, what did you think of this part to the saga? What did you think of Doctor Doom making his official return? And now we finally get into Avengers 2007, as well as Avengers 2008. But that being said, my fellow watchers of the multiverse, thank you guys for supporting the channel. It really does mean a lot to me. I do want to give a massive shout out to those who are supporting the YouTube members only page, as well as the Patreon. Your support goes a long way in building the content that we're doing here on the channel, and also we always try and strive for quality videos like this one. So again, we hope that you enjoy, and we will see you in the next video. Thank you guys so very much, and again, take it easy.